Hi everyone, Tony here from ebikechoices.com. It's been a while since my last YouTube video. In fact, I think the last one I did was about a year ago, maybe a bit longer than that. What I'm hoping to be doing over the next few months is adding quite a few more videos, particularly video reviews of bikes. And yeah, we've got something special for you today. We've got the latest Ribble CGR ALE electric gravel bike, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and a basic review. I'm just going to be going over the components, and at a later stage I will be taking it for a ride, specifically a gravel ride on my local moor, which is Bodmin Moor, which is a few miles up the road from me. We'll also be doing some heart rate monitor comparisons. So what I'll be doing is I'll be going for a sort of a 10-mile hilly loop on my regular bike, which hasn't got a motor on it, and then I'll be going for a 10-mile hilly, the exact same 10-mile loop on the CGR ALE, and we'll compare heart rate data. You know, see how much less effort is involved in riding an e-bike, particularly in a hilly area. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to unbox this. I haven't actually had a look at it yet, so I'm looking forward to it. I'll get it out of the box and yeah, have a look at it, get it all together, get it on a bike stand, and we'll go from there. So anyway, the first thing I've noticed about this, I don't know if you guys can see that from there, but it looks really well packaged out. I mean, obviously it's an expensive bike. I think this particular model, which is a SRAM Apex 1 model with the 650B gravel specific wheel set, comes in at around about £2,600. So it's an expensive bike. It was delivered within a couple of days by Parcel Force. I mean, the box turned up perfect, no knocks or dents or anything in it. So right, let's crack on. I'm going to make sure I put all these bits to one side, because obviously they're going to want their bike back after I finish with it. Right, so we've got a box here with probably some components in. I must say, I've had quite a lot of bikes delivered over the years, and this one is incredibly well packaged. Pop that over there for a minute. Right. Yeah, that's really well packaged, that bike. Right, okay, I'll get my I shall get my bike stand at the ready. Right, so here we go. Right, standing knife, Allen keys. Right, here we go. One. Well, look, we've even got a carbon fibre seat post, and we've got a Pro logo Kappa RS saddle. So some quality kit there. Now I don't know if there's any carbon glitter paste. That's quite often a bit of a problem with carbon seat posts. Right. Well, what are we going to see with this? Right. Yeah, if my jeans start falling down in a minute, don't want to pull them back up again. It's just I haven't worn jeans for a while, and I must be doing something right, because it looks like I've lost a couple of inches off my waist. So, right. Right, so there you have it. The Ribble CGR ALE with SRAM Rival 1x11 gearing and yeah, Mavic Axiom wheel set, 700x45C gravel tyres, WTB gravel tyres. What I'm going to do in a second is take it outside in the sunlight and do a little walk around. I will say that I'm really impressed with the quality of this bike. I mean, the frame is gorgeous, really nicely finished off, smooth welds, carbon fork, and it's not heavy at all for an e-bike. In fact, what I'll do now quickly is I'll weigh it again. Now we've got the seat post fitted. Be interesting to see if it slips at all when I take it for a ride, because I'm not exactly light. I am a little bit on the heavy side. I'm 17.5 stone. But let's have another little look. See what it weighs fully assembled. Obviously I've still got to add pedals to this, but alright, zero that. Back a little bit. Back a bit more. Right. Well, that's coming back at 13.4, which actually is a little bit lighter than they specify on the website. So yeah, that's brilliant. I'm really impressed with that. Right, so we're going to take this outside now and I'm going to go and do a little walk around with it. Just go through some of the components and then we'll take it for a spin. Right, we're outside. The weather's not too bad today actually, which makes a change. So anyway, I'm going to do a little walk around of the Ribble CGR ALE electric gravel bike. Starting off with a wheel set. And we have some nice quality Mavic Axiom Elites, which are 700C. The tyres are WTB Riddlers 700x45C, and I assume they're tubeless. Obviously we've got the obligatory through axles on the front. We've got a full carbon fork with steerer. And we have the SRAM Rival 1x11 group set, which is perfect for a gravel bike. I'm a big fan of 1x systems. I've got a 1x system on my regular e-bike, which has a Shimano steps system fitted to it. We've got a 42 tooth at the front with an 11-42 at the back. Now, I mean, that's a 1-to-1 ratio. I mean, I would personally say for gravel riding, you'd probably want a 38 at the front and an 11-46 at the rear. This particular derailleur should take an 11-46. In fact, Sunrace do I think it's a Sunrace MS8. They do an 11 to speed, 11-46 cassette. Now, I've actually got one of those on my bike. My bike's running SRAM NX 1x11, my e-bike, and it works absolutely perfectly with an 11-46 cassette. So yeah, I mean, that would be my personal recommendations. If you were doing a lot of gravel riding and a lot of off-road riding, I would certainly recommend swapping the back cassette out for an 11-46 and swapping the front chainring to a 38. It's going to be better for getting you up those steep climbs. Yeah, anyway, let's move on to the battery charging port, which is just down there. Now, this is a 250 watt-hour battery, which is integrated into the frame. It's removed via a port under here, but it's not, it has to be removed by an approved technician apparently. Now the battery uses Panasonic NCR 18650 GA cells, which are probably one of the better cells available for e-bike batteries. It's a very, very good quality cell. It's known for its longevity. And of course we have the X35 ebikemotion hub motor. Now I've been working with e-bikes now for about 4 years, and this is by far the smallest hub motor I've come across. I've actually ridden quite a few bikes with this particular system fitted, and it's incredibly smooth. It's very, very quiet, and it produced, you know, it gives a nice useful bit of assist. Now the pedal sensor basically is this little ring here. So on traditional kind of hub motorbikes, you find a pedal assist sensor sort of down here somewhere, but this one's a bit more sophisticated. You get much smoother pedal assist, not quite so on and off, you know. My personal e-bike has a Shimano Steps E6100 system fitted. That uses a torque sensor. That's really good. I mean, that's really intuitive. That measures pedaling force as opposed to rotation. But yeah, it's a great system. Generally reliable. As you can see, we've got some nice flared drop bars on here. We've got SRAM Rival hydraulic brakes with, I think, 160mm rotors. But as you can see, I mean, you know, this frame is really nicely finished off. Smooth welds. I'd say we could probably do with some of the old squirrely things here to protect the frame from cable rub. Now this little button here, this is what you use to switch between assist levels. Now there's no screen with this bike. I mean, the whole idea of this is to keep things to a minimum. You know, you know, you've got a bike here which is basically an e-bike, but doesn't look like an e-bike, you know, to the untrained eye. Now there is a partner app available. So you can basically you can download the app on your phone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone, and you can pay your phone up with it, and you can get a lot more information. You know, you can get like battery information and range and, you know, trip computer, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's a really nice bike. Carbon seat post. I mean, basically, when you go to buy one of these, you can go on to Ribble Bike Builder and you can basically spec the bike as you want it. Now, this particular bike, like I said, has been spec'd with SRAM Rival 1x11. Got a lot of helicopters in the air today. But you know, you can have, I think the base model starts off with Shimano Tiagra. You can then go up to Shimano 105. You can go to Shimano GRX, which is Shimano's gravel specific group set. And obviously SRAM, and I'm not sure if they do an option with like Di2 or SRAM ETAP. Possibly, I'll have to double check their website, but obviously that's going to be very expensive. But it's a yeah, it's a cracking bike actually. I'm really impressed with it. I did actually have a chance to ride one of these last year when they first come out. I had a friend that bought one, and but I only sort of took it for about sort of 8 or 9 miles. But this one I'm going to be putting through its paces. I'm going to be taking it up to Bodmin moor, doing some gravel, doing some single track, and doing a bit of road riding as well. And like I said earlier on, I'll be doing some heart rate monitor comparisons. So I've got a regular road bike which hasn't got a motor on it. I've also got an e-bike, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to it's quite interesting, this sort of data you get back, because I generally push myself whether I'm riding my road bike or my e-bike. If I ride my e-bike, I still push myself. I still find my heart rate is usually at least in zone 2, so I'm still in that sort of fat burning zone. I find if I'm on the regular road bike, I spend more time in zone 3, which is you know, obviously a little bit higher. But yeah, e-bikes when ridden correctly, you can stay in zone 2, zone 3, which is ideal for burning fat. You know, and the great thing, of course, is where I live in Cornwall, it's incredibly hilly. I mean, any of you guys that have ridden in Cornwall know what I'm talking about, or any of you guys that are from Cornwall know exactly what I'm talking about. There are hills everywhere. They're not particularly long hills, not like you get up in Yorkshire or the Lake District, but they're short and steep, and they're relentless. You know, it's literally downhill, uphill, downhill, uphill, downhill, uphill. It just doesn't stop. On an average ride in Cornwall, I do probably, I suppose, what, 100 feet of elevation for every mile ridden. I mean, I went out the other day, I did 40 miles, and I did like 4,700 feet of climbing. You know, it's and that's a typical ride around here, really. You know, it's that's why e-bikes are really useful. And I know some really fit guys have got e-bikes. Whereas a few years ago there was a bit of a stigma attached to e-bikes. For starters, they looked bloody awful. They were heavy. You know, they weren't particularly pleasant to ride. But of course, as you can see, they've come a hell of a long way. So, you know, I know guys that literally 3 or 4 years ago were saying you wouldn't catch me dead on an e-bike. And now they're going out buying specialised Levos and bikes like the Ribble, you know. So I think, you know, and the great thing is with these particular bikes is I could jump on this now and I could ride this without a motor. I could ride it all week without a motor. I wouldn't have to put the motor, you know, if I didn't want to put the motor on, I wouldn't have to put the motor on, because it's not actually that much heavier than one of my old steel-framed road bikes. You know, it's probably only a couple of kilos heavier than one of my old steel-framed road bikes. So, you know, I think it's a really good bike. I hope you liked this video, and I hope you found it informative. I am going to be adding another video very soon with me riding it up on Bodmin Moor. And if you guys like this video, if you could hit the like button, subscribe and hit the notification bell, that'd be great, because I am going to be doing a lot more e-bike reviews in the future. See you later.